Hello, welcome to Radio Bravery Live. I'm your host, Justin Belshaw. YouTube.com/Radio Bravery. We've got Joy Villa bringing us in with the song Make America Great Again. This song's been banned on YouTube if you didn't know. That's probably why you haven't heard it. This is a special report entitled Why Our President Trumps the Rest. I'm your host, Justin Belshaw. This is Radio Bravery Live. Welcome back.
So we gotta wake up, gotta shake it up now. Let's make America great again. We can come back twice as strong. We can still be the voice of every hungry child. Be the sound of every freedom song. Yes, my dear, we
Sung another freedom song. Be the voice of every child, make America great again. Yeah, it sounds like hate speech to me. That's why this song is banned on YouTube. They demonetized it as well, so she can't be making any money. You can't have independent African-American women here in the U.S. making money for themselves. No way. So, especially not if they like America and they like this country. So that's why I'm doing this special piece entitled Why Our President Trumps the Rest. And I'm here to come out as a Trump supporter today. I've got a lot of reasons why, and let's go ahead and jump into them. First off, we've got this article right here from the Time Magazine, the infamous Time Magazine. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is a bad deal for American workers. Goes on to explain 1, 2, 3, 4 extreme points why the Trans-Pacific Partnership was bad for the American people, including omitting currency rules from TPP. TPP will undermine all of its touted market opening benefits. The inclusion of corporate courts for investor-to-state dispute settlement is a win for global business. It could hurt U.S. automakers, and it's unclear whether the labor provisions would benefit workers, which it clearly wouldn't. Many studies showed that the TPP would have sent over 10 million jobs overseas, as well as the Paris Climate Treaty as well. But this is what Time Magazine said about the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Now let's look at the TPP is a bad deal for America and American workers. This is the Roosevelt Institute Reimagine the Rules by Joseph Stiglitz. This was written on March 28th of last year. And this is a brief part 6 in a series on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, as Joseph Stiglitz has extremely well documented how bad the TPP is for America and American workers. But this special report is not about going into the detail about the TPP. It is going into the detail about why President Trump is doing great for this country. So here's this one right here from TheGuardian.com. Trump withdraws from the Trans-Pacific Partnership amid flurry of orders. This is in his first day in office. Donald Trump stood by his promise to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership because it was a bad deal for America, a bad deal for American workers, and a bad deal for America first. So Trump did that. Let's move on now to the next subject. Here is from Forbes. How Barack Obama has made $20 million since arriving in Washington. And this is an article from 2017, so this is a recent article from Corporate Boards, Presidential Salary, Senate Salary, University of Chicago Hospitals, Dreams from My Father book. The Dreams from My Father book is clearly irrelevant, but just look at the presidential salary, $3.1 million, corporate boards, $130,000, Senate salary, $610,000. So this is not to mention University of Chicago Hospitals and miscellaneous $250,000. So $20.5 million between 2005 and 2016. Okay, that's what Barack Obama made during his presidency. Now let's look at this one. Presidential salaries throughout the years. Every one of these presidents has taken their salaries, $400,000 to George Bush, $200,000 to Richard Nixon, $100,000 to Harry Truman, $75,000 to Howard Taft, $50,000 to Ulysses S. Grant. So these are the presidential salaries throughout the year, okay? Now let's look at this PolitiFact Trump Truthometer, because we need to have those out there. I heard a CNN reporter say the other day that 95% of the things that come out of Trump's mouth are lies. 95%, huh? That's incredible. I've never even met someone who 95% of the time lies. That's called a compulsive liar. Usually those people are locked up in mental institutions, but no, that's not Trump, unfortunately. He is actually quite the truth teller. Here's the Trumpometer. Take no salary. Quote from Donald Trump. If I'm elected president, I'm accepting no salary. Here's updates on PolitiFact.com. Trump donates salary for second consecutive quarter. Oh, so he donated for 2 quarters now. This is the second quarter. He's donated $78,000 a quarter to charities and national park services. Wow, incredible. So he, once again, there's a second thing that Donald Trump has said on the campaign that he followed through with. So Donald Trump for second quarter, as everyone's Hawkeyeing in Hawkeye, waiting. Whoa. Did he stand by his word? Did he? Oh, gross. Disgusting. He did. Yeah, unfortunately he did, and he is giving his salary every quarter to charities and to federal programs. So yeah, that's, not to mention he gave $1 million to hurricane relief. Let's look at this Gateway Pundit article. Here's something you may not have heard of recently. This is from the Gateway Pundit. 750 plus sex criminals have been arrested across the U.S. since Trump became president. This goes on to say hundreds of sex traffickers arrested across the U.S. since Trump became president. ABC 7 in Chicago is reporting that more than 100 people have been arrested in the Chicago area alone in recent sex trafficking sweeps that Donald Trump has reportedly ordered the Sessions administration there to go in and remove and dismantle all of the human trafficking and pedophilia networks throughout the U.S. Now, this is an earlier article, as we have a more recent one from the World Tribune. Unreported 1,500 pedophile arrests made nationally since Trump took office. If you do even deeper research, you're not going to find a headline like that, but you can find there's been more than 2,000 arrests now in the U.S. alone. Not to mention there have been pedophile networks in the U.K. that have been uncovered that are being dismantled as we speak. So this is incredible. This is a super positive thing that we didn't see any headlines like this during Barack Obama's entire 8 years in office. But we see unreported 1,500 pedophile arrests made nationally since Trump took office. So I would say that is another positive. So those are, we're at 3 now, okay, right? We're at 3 things that Trump has been doing for America first. House passes bill to curb human trafficking. This bill is going to put $500 million to programs across the federal government. The bill is known as the Frederick Douglass Trafficking Victims Prevention and Protection Reauthorization Act. Those efforts include training law enforcement officials to recognize and combat human trafficking, providing victims with assistance, and investigating international trafficking rings. The measure includes allocating $1 million over 4 years to train airport personnel, pilots, and flight attendants on how to spot human trafficking and report it to law enforcement. That is so key. This is one of the biggest problems worldwide facing humanity today, is the human trafficking and the pedophilia sick swamp that needs to be drained, and Donald Trump is in the process of doing it. Let's jump ahead to another thing. This is, let's jump into some economy news, okay? Here's money.cnn.com. CNN, not always very fake news, but most of the time, very fake news. Dow's 9 days of records finally ends. 9 days. This is August 8th, 2017. Another record string, another record week of the Dow closing at record every frickin' day for 9 days. Yep, it's not that hard for Donald Trump to be boosting the economy every day. Here's another one. Second quarter GDP hits Trump's 3% target. Trump made a campaign promise that he was going to get our GDP up to 3% by the end of his first year. Well, you know what? It's not even the end of the first year. It's only his second quarter, and boom! Already got 3% target. This is from BusinessInsider.com, which is not a friend of Donald Trump or the Donald Trump administration, but they sure nailed it on this one, because you can't deny the facts. You can't deny the numbers. You can sure manipulate them, but you can't fucking lie about it. So 3% GDP, that's where we are now. Yes. So, let's go and move forward here. Here's another one. Trump Trudeau launch Women Business Leaders Council. Justin Trudeau, the leader of Canada, of the Free Canada, has come out and commended Donald Trump in their efforts to get this new program going. President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau unveiled a bilateral initiative Monday aimed at boosting women entrepreneurs, announcing the new panel at a roundtable on the issue in Washington. Both President Trump and Prime Minister Trudeau are committed to removing barriers to women's economic participation and supporting women as they advance in the business community. Oh, but he hates women and he hates women's rights, clearly. Trump and Trudeau's announcement of the Canada-United States Council for Advancement of Women Entrepreneurs and Business Leaders came at an event reportedly arranged by Trump's daughter, Ivanka. So he's working together with a powerful, independent woman, his daughter, and his wife, Melania, and he's surrounding himself with powerful women like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's just spot on, doing an incredible job, way better than that idiot Spicer. And look at what we got, a women's entrepreneurship program, millions of dollars going to help women entrepreneurs work between Canada and the U.S. And he must be a total sexist, and I'm sure he wants to grab them all by their pussies. No, he doesn't. He was caught out of context with a stupid quote, and I've said a lot worse than grab him by the pussy. And I didn't mean it, just like he probably didn't mean it. And even if he did, it's a stupid fucking sentence. Grow the hell up and look at what he's really doing. Actions speak louder than words. Do you remember what Martin Luther King said? Judge a person by their character of their content and what they do, by their actions, by not just a word or a sound bite taken out of context, not by the color of their skin or the book cover over the pages. Get inside Donald Trump's head and read what he's really doing. Look at the actions and see for yourself, okay? This guy is clearly not a sexist when he is fucking announcing Women Business Leaders Council, okay? He's not doing this to just make sure no one calls him a name. Oh no, he is actually giving millions of dollars with Justin Trudeau to advance women entrepreneurs and business councils, okay? So this is real. This is real news, very real news. This is Radio Bravery, youtube.com/Radio Bravery. Why our president trumps the rest. So here is another article. Trump condemns evil racism in Charlottesville. As you may not remember, you may not have been paying attention to the fake media, the very fake media like CNN and BBC, who constantly are lying and manipulating headlines. But in this week, while Charlottesville was going down, there were hundreds of news anchors saying, well, Donald Trump refuses to condemn racism. Donald Trump refuses to condemn hate. He's actually done it 26 times in the media. You can go and search for it your fucking self if you don't want to just believe the facts that I've researched for days and days and months. But Trump condemns evil racism in Charlottesville. Let's go and play this clip. Right after the 30-second ad from the piece of garbage swamp called the BBC, who needs to make their money by forcing you into 30-second ads. Oh, man, mainstream media is really failing. It's so pathetic. Every news site you go to, you're gonna have like at least 30 seconds of an ad to watch a single fucking video. This is how the news works now. You're not gonna get those ads here on Radio Bravery Live. You're gonna have true, independent, free media and free news. So let's go and check out this clip here from Donald Trump condemning evil racism in Charlottesville.
And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. We are a nation founded on the truth that all of us are created equal. We are equal in the eyes of our Creator. We are equal under the law. And we are equal under our Constitution. Those who spread violence in the name of bigotry strike at the very core of America. 2 days ago, a young American woman, Heather Heyer, was tragically killed. Her death fills us with grief, and we send her family our thoughts, our prayers, and our love.
So that is Donald Trump condemning the KKK, white supremacists, and evil racism. But oh my god, he's a white supremacist, probably because he did an OK sign or likes milk or something. He's a white lover. But yeah, so there is Donald Trump condemning evil racism. And then look at this right here. DailyMail.com, FBI and Homeland Security deem Antifa domestic terrorists as they warn of escalating violence between the left and white nationalists. Federal officials launched global investigation into Antifa last year to determine whether they may start committing terror attacks like right-wing counterparts. They always have to say, oh, it's got to be just like the right-wingers. Department of Homeland Security formally classified their activities as domestic terrorist violence, law enforcement sources have said. A senior state law enforcement official told them a whole bunch of them have been placed on U.S. terrorist watch list. Authorities blame the left-wing group for instigating the violence and say the right-wing protesters and Trump supporters responded with their own violence. So, clearly right in the headlines, they tell you right there. You have Trump supporters defending themselves with violence back as they're attacked from Antifa, from the alt-left, from the violent side. You can just see in these pictures here, they're all constantly masked. They bring batons, coolers filled with urine, feces, and makeshift tear gas bombs. If you just go to this Daily Mail article right here, Homeland Security deems Antifa domestic terrorists, you'll find hundreds of pictures and videos of the violence of them coming with their shields, their batons, their bats, their goggles, gas masks, covered faces, all wearing black, of course, and they're just so loving, just protesters, just protesting out there peacefully, you know, beating Trump supporters, no big deal. We have Homeland Security now deeming Antifa as terrorists, and if you go here, let's see. Let's go to YouTube here, Trump, Antifa. Now here's Trump calling out Antifa as over 300,000 people signed a petition for Trump to name Antifa. This is what he did.
How did he get in here? He's supposed to be with a few people outside. How about all week they're talking about the massive crowds that are going to be outside? Where are they? Well, it's hot out.
Where are they?
It is hot. I think it's too warm. You know, they show up in the helmets and the black masks, and they've got clubs and they've got everything. Antifa!
Antifa!
It's been said that the Lord works in mysterious ways.
So on August the 14th, so that was it, and I said everything.
It's my favorite
Antifa!
part. Antifa! So that's Donald Trump calling out Antifa, finally calling him by name, and right after that, they're deemed domestic terrorists, and it's about damn time. Here is the Business Insider once again having to report on real news. Trump and his administration receive high marks for initial response to Hurricane Harvey, but the real test is only starting. And here is a viral video of Donald Trump working with the Hurricane Harvey victims. It's got some cheesy music behind it, but it is about putting America first, and this is a viral video that has gotten a lot of traction, just showing, you know, what a real caring humanitarian Donald Trump really is. And a lot of people that he's met have now come out recently and said that they were not Trump supporters before, but after meeting them in person, they have become a lot more open-minded to him because of how kind he was when they met him. And those are quotes from people on Twitter who were there down in Houston. Now here's that video.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for
Again, the music's a little cheesy. But if you want to make America great again, you got to start by being peaceful, kind, and loving, and give back, you know, be real. And that's what I think our president number 45 is doing. And that's why I support Donald Trump.
Because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the
Not gonna see videos like this of Barack Obama or Barry Soetoro.
And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Don't believe the hype, folks. Think for yourself. Knowledge is power. Do your own research.
To the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that.
But Donald Trump has now gone down to Houston twice to personally lend a physical hand himself. During Louisiana's hurricane last year in 2016, Barry Soetoro spent the entire time playing golf. Did you know that?
This isn't about President Trump.
So that is Alex Jones right there defending Trump once again, as he spends most of his radio shows now defending Trump, because Trump is just being attacked daily, nonstop, all day, every day, by all news outlets. There's only like 3 news outlets in the world, you know, maybe 5, that actually report the real news, what he's really doing. So that's why we are here, Radio Bravery Live, youtube.com/Radio Bravery. Tune in today and please subscribe. Here's one from the New York Times. Trump bypasses Republicans to strike deal on debt limit and Harvey aid. We have tons of articles out. If you just search this, let's go ahead and do it for viewers right now. Trump deal with Democrats, and just look at the headlines. Oh, GOP leaders shocked after Trump deal with Democrats. Trump reaches out to make more congressional moves with Democrats. Trump's surprise deal with Democrats sets up Christmas showdown. GOP shocked. For conservatives, Trump's deal with Democrats is nightmare come true. Just constant barragement, berating of how, oh, GOP's mad at him now. Oh, conservatives are mad at him because he made a deal with the Democrats. No, this is not about stupid fucking party. Grow up. No one gives a shit about right or left, okay? No one's mad at him about doing this. If this is a good deal and it's helping people in Houston and the victims of Hurricane Harvey, I'm all for it. I'm all for the Democrats working with Trump and not being obstructionist losers. Instead, we are having our Congress working together with the president for once. This is incredible, and I'll take it. I'm not mad about it, and I'm not a conservative, okay? I am an independent, I'm a libertarian, and I'm a classical liberal. And that's why this is so disgusting. They're just trying to pit us all against each other. When you search on Google, all their algorithms are just trying to fuck you over. So let's look at this one. Breitbart.com. Every bad thing we will avoid by rejecting the Paris Climate Accord. Okay, the president is expected to formally announce that the U.S. will exit the Paris Climate Agreement, a move that will have a negligible impact on the environment, but will have major benefits for the U.S. economy. This goes on to say, goodbye to America. Last, the Paris Agreement was basically an attempt to halt climate change on the honor system. Its only legal requirements were signatories to announce goals and report progress with no international enforcement mechanism. As a result, it was likely the United States and wealthy European nations would have adopted and implemented severe climate change rules, while many of the world's governments would avoid doing anything that would slow their own economies. Number 2, industrial carnage. The regulations necessary to implement the Paris Climate Agreement would have cost the U.S. industrial sector 1.1 million jobs, according to a study commissioned by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. These job losses would center in cement, iron, steel, and petroleum refining. Industrial output would decline sharply. Number 3, hollowing out Michigan, Missouri, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Number 4, smashing small businesses, helping big business. Number 5, making America poorer again. And number 6, much poorer. The overall effect of the agreement would have been to reduce U.S. GDP by over $2.5 trillion and eliminate 400,000 jobs by 2035. 400,000 jobs, okay? This is globalnews.ca. That was Breitbart.com. This is globalnews.ca. Paris Climate Agreement better off without the U.S., say experts. And then we have CNN right here with another rarity, real news. Trump on Paris Accord. We're getting out. We're getting out, and we are out of the Paris Climate Accord, and that is because, once again, Donald Trump stuck to his promises. Donald Trump followed through.
Is very unfair.
Let's listen to this.
At the highest level to the United States.
Today, President Trump is putting a check mark next to one of his key campaign promises.
In order to fulfill my solemn duty to protect America and its citizens, the United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord Thank you.
That's enough. Yep, so Donald Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord because it would have cost us 400,000 jobs by 2035. 400,000 jobs, billions of dollars, and we would have been poorer and in a much shittier place as a country. So, America first. We're making America great again. These are all positive things for America. We need to worry about our country first, the rest of the world later. We are not the world police. So here is another article from Politico.com. Trump intervenes to grant rejected Afghan girls entry to U.S. for robotics contest. Interesting. Trump's a racist, but he's intervening for Afghanistani girls to come into the country because he wants to make sure that people who are innocent can be in the country. If you look at Donald Trump's quotes, if you actually read his quotes, what he said, you watch his speeches, he talks about kicking illegal immigrants out who have committed crimes, okay? Criminals, yes, Criminals who came to this country illegally should be booted because they are criminals. Not just criminals because they're here illegally, but because they committed another crime after they got to this country. Do we not understand that? Does it not get any more clear? Donald Trump is making exceptions every day to allow people to stay in this country or to come into this country who don't have criminal backgrounds, who don't have criminal intent, who don't have connections to ISIS or radical Islamic terrorism, which is an actual thing. Yes, so if he is not a racist, he's not doing racist things, and he is not doing anything to keep anybody out who's a good person. We want good people in this country. We want good immigrants in this country. We don't want illegal aliens, illegal immigrants, criminals. That's what we do not need. As you may know, in Portland, the sheriff here has refused to turn over illegal criminals and illegal aliens who have committed crimes in Oregon to ICE. And what happened when they released this illegal alien? He went out and raped an elderly woman in Portland, Oregon. Raped an elderly woman because he was refused to be turned over to ICE. Because of our piece of garbage political people trying to be political, trying to be fucking PC instead of doing their job as law enforcement agents. Instead of doing their job and kicking criminals out, we are letting our own citizens be raped and attacked. Elderly women, because, oh, it's too political to kick out the rapist piece of shit who is going to do it again and again and again until we kick them the hell out of our country. You don't belong here, you criminal scum. And that's how it goes. You see right here is an example of how Trump is very selective about who he wants to kick out. And it's pieces of garbage only, not innocent, nice Afghani girls who are in a robotics contest. Trump steps in, intervenes, because he heard about this, because he's paying attention to actual good people and trying to help them, okay? Them first, America first, good people first. How about that? Let's move to this next article. That was Politico.com. Here is the Telegraph. Donald Trump's 4 hours a night and the other extreme sleeping habits of our leaders. This is just to prove to you that Donald Trump is working 20 hours a day on average. 20 hours a day up until late night. Freedom Caucus leader Trump making phone calls in middle of the night on healthcare. Trump sleeps 4 hours a night on average. Trump making calls in the middle of the night on healthcare. This is a man who's dedicated to helping our country. This is a man who's dedicated to helping you get jobs back, to helping you put money in your account as a middle-class citizen, and to helping bring back the middle of our country, and to stop this class division warfare that's going on. Okay? This is someone trying to unite the right and the left, trying to unite all Americans together with growth, with human growth, American growth, and trying to bring us all up. He is up into the middle of the night making phone calls, trying to help healthcare. He sleeps 4 hours a night on average, okay? So this guy is not giving up and is not selling us out. Let's look at this right here. A lot of people were trying to debunk this for months when this picture first surfaced. You can see the picture right now I'm opening up is Donald Trump receiving the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. Excuse me. There he is standing next to Rosa Parks. Receiving the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. The Ellis Island Medal of Honor, founded by the American Ethnic Coalition for Organizations, which was presented annually to American citizens who have distinguished themselves within their own ethnic groups while exemplifying the values of the American way of life. Donald Trump was given this award with Rosa Parks and 78 other people that year, and he stood next to Rosa Parks, deserving that award and earning that award mainly for his work allowing black people to go to Mar-a-Lago in Florida. He worked at that for a long time to allow black people to come to his golf course when they weren't allowed there before he owned it. Because Donald Trump makes steps towards uniting all races of people, and that's why he was given the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. Here's another one. New 80 million anti-Trump network spearheaded by Soros-funded org with former Acorn employees. Now, I don't know if you know about Acorn, but James O'Keefe at Project Veritas caught Acorn employees accepting stolen, kidnapped children for selling in the U.S. to the highest bidder. James O'Keefe was talking about how he kidnapped kids from another country and he was trying to sell them and get rid of them. And Acorn employees were like, yeah, absolutely, totally, no problem. Oh, we can handle that. We got some pedophiles on the line. Hold up. And yeah, that's what happened. So we have Acorn employees with George Soros funding an $80 million anti-Trump network. Who else has $80 million just gunning at you, gunning for you, okay? That's when you know you are over the flack, when you are doing real damage to pieces of shit like the Nazi collaborator George Soros and like the Acorn employees who were trying to ship children for pedophile networks, okay? Those are the people who are anti-Trump, okay? Pedophiles and Nazi collaborators, okay? So that is the Washington Free Beacon. Let's look at this one right here. 15 times celebrities envisioned violence against Trump and the GOP. Now, ever since Donald Trump's been elected, we have seen violence towards conservatives and towards Donald Trump all day, every day, non-stop. And you don't see any visits by the fucking FBI to any of those people, no. You only see people attacking the right, people attacking the GOP, people attacking conservatives, people attacking Donald Trump and saying they should kill him. But, oh, no death threats are not a big deal anymore. We're just letting all the death threats go as long as they're about Donald Trump. Again, another reason why you should be behind our president and support our president. He's got more death threats than probably any president I've ever seen in my lifetime. Did you see protests like this when Barack Obama, the first black president, got elected? Did you see riots in the street? People being beat for supporting Obama? What would have happened if there were Antifa out there beating people wearing Obama hats? What would that look like? How racist would have that been? You know, but we don't have, oh no, Trump's the racist as his supporters are being beaten in the streets and sucker punched when they're not looking. Kathy Griffin beheads Trump in a graphic photo. Madonna, I've thought a lot about blowing up the White House. Snoop Dogg shoots Trump in the head in a music video. Robert De Niro, I'd like to punch him in the face. Joss Whedon, whoever the fuck that is. I want a rhino to fuck Paul Ryan to death. Let's look at this. Shakespeare in the Park stabs Trump to death in performance of Julius Caesar. David Simon, pick up a goddamn brick if Trump fires Robert Mueller. Pick up a goddamn brick if Robert Mueller is fired. Wow. Mickey Rourke threatens to beat Trump with a baseball bat. He can suck my fucking dick. Actress Leah DeLarea, whoever the fuck that is, threatens to take out Republicans and independents with baseball bat after Trump win. Rapper YG threatens Trump with fuck Donald Trump song. Marilyn Manson kills Trump in music video. Rapper Everlast warns Trump, I will punch you in your fucking face. Look at these losers, these pathetic virtue signaling losers who use their celebrity status to make death threats and to promote violence against our 45th president of the United States. If that had happened to Barack Obama, it would be ridiculously an outrage on all sides. I would be outraged if it happened to Obama. I am outraged to see this happening to our president. This is ridiculous. People threatening to kill our president. What the hell world are we living in? If they can threaten to kill Donald Trump, people can threaten to kill me, people can threaten to kill you, and you are next. If they can take down the President of the United States, the supposed most powerful leader of the free world, then they can take down you and they will take down all of your freedoms. This is a clear test. Larry Wilmore jokes about suffocating Trump with a pillow. With the same pillow they used to kill Scalia. Stephen Colbert's late show puts Stephen Miller's head on a spike. Sarah Silverman suggests military could help overthrow Trump. This is 15 times celebrities envision violence against Donald Trump. Okay? So this is an ongoing thing over and over and over and over again. Here is another one from townhall.com. 20 liberal calls for violence against conservatives in quotes. Let's go and look at these. Michelle Bachmann, slit your wrist, go ahead, or do us all better thing. Move that knife up about 2 feet, start right at the collarbone. This is Montel Williams talking about Michelle Bachmann. Slit your wrist, go ahead, do us all better thing. Move the knife up about 2 feet, start right at the collarbone. That's Montel Williams talking about a female United States citizen. But it's okay. It's okay. She's a conservative, so who cares? Don't even worry about people telling her to slit her own fucking throat. What the hell is wrong with people? Fuck that dude. I'll smack the fucker's comb over right off his fucking scalp. Like for real. Blah, blah, blah. Rapper Everlast. Here's Bill Maher. I have zero doubt that if Dick Cheney was not empowered, people would be dying needlessly tomorrow. I'm just saying, if he did die, other people, more people would live. That's a fact. There's so many quotes in here. I don't even know if I need to go through all of them. But there's 20 of them on this townhall.com article. Go ahead and read them all for yourself. 20 liberal calls for violence against conservatives in quotes. Why are we seeing so much calls for violence? Because they can't win any argument against us. Because all they can do is hate and be violent and angry and throw tantrums like little children because they lost. Because they have the inferior capability of intellect. They cannot make arguments. They have no intellectual debate possible. They can't. They are inferior when it comes to thinking because they have no stance. They're just repeaters in an echo chamber. And that's it. They just repeat what they're told from CNN, and that's it. And they just trust it. Black Trump supporter sucker punched by Antifa. If situation was reversed, I would be in the spotlight on CNN. Yes! Yes, you would! You would! If a Trump supporter went and punched someone else, it'd be all over the fucking news. But watch this video right now as a black Trump supporter just trying to talk to the crowd.
It was a blatant cheap shot in Laguna
Look at
Beach
this.
Sunday night. Video catches a man walk up behind Trump supporter R.C. Maxwell, then take a swing at him.
And things
Wow.
were completely different, and I
Look
was
at this guy.
a Black Lives Matter supporter, and I was attacked on the Trump side of the protest. I would be spotlight on CNN right now.
Maxwell met up with me on Tuesday, telling me the attack was unprovoked.
I went over to the left side to see if I could engage them with dialogue, and I was instantly encircled by the so-called anti-fascist.
So he's wearing a tie, nicely dressed, African-American dude, pro-Trump, but not being rude, not being hateful, went over just to try and engage in a little dialogue, talk to these idiots and see if they have anything to say. Of course they fucking don't. They just want a cheap shot, punch him in the side of the face when he's not looking. Incredible.
The man who allegedly sucker punched him quickly identified himself on Twitter after the rally, tweeting that
I did it because he wouldn't stop talking about Trump when all of us told him thousands of times we didn't want to hear it. I'm not a racist. You're not a racist as you punch a black guy in the face for his freedom of speech. You sucker punched a black man in the side of the face for talking, but you're not a racist. You are a fucking more of a racist than Donald Trump ever's been. So
did it because
sickening.
Maxwell wouldn't stop.
And this loser tried to flee the state too. What a pathetic piece of garbage. You fucking loser. Sucker punch a black guy in the face and then try to flee the state. Oh, arrest me, I'm a loser.
talking about Trump and that he isn't racist. When someone called for his arrest, He replied, quote, "Please arrest me,
Please arrest me.
LMFAO."
Don't worry, we will.
Laguna Beach police granted his request. 20-year-old Richard Losey was arrested Tuesday evening and charged with battery and making terroristic threats.
I think the fact that I'm a black conservative causes a lot of problems for the left side because there's no way they can really resolve that according to their narrative of what they think Trump supporters are. So I think that was something that was a bit triggering to the other side.
The sucker punch wasn't Maxwell's only issue at the rally. Hours before it happened, I tried to interview him after we saw him get shoved by members of Antifa.
Jesus! Hey, brother, violent. Keep your eyes to yourself, man.
We were quickly surrounded by counter-protesters, which led Maxwell to speak out.
I have a different political opinion. That's no reason to treat me less human. But these so-called anti-fascists are literally the fascists themselves. They're the ones who want to engage in dialogue, violence, and not dialogue. And you just wanted to ask me a couple of questions about what was happening, and we could not even conduct an interview.
Maxwell believes counter-protesters targeted him because he's a black man supporting Donald Trump.
So I was getting lots of specific comments like, "You're a sellout, you're an Uncle Tom,"
And he says it's that...
Listen to these racist pieces of shit who just want to spew, "You're racist, you're a racist, you're a racist," nonstop while attacking a black man for fucking his opinion. While attacking someone physically and calling yourself an anti-fascist. You dumb idiots. How dumb are you? You are fascistic. You are fascista. You are the fascists. You are the fascists. You are worse than Joseph Stalin. You want to shut down all dissent. You support Joseph Stalin on average. I've heard Antifa people supporting Stalinism. These idiots. I mean, it's just so sickening. So this poor guy got sucker punched, and he couldn't even conduct an interview with the news media without being attacked and surrounded and called an Uncle Tom. An Uncle Tom. One of the most racist slurs that you could ever say is what these Antifa pieces of garbage are calling black people who support Trump. Uncle Toms. That's what Joy Villa has been called. An Uncle Tom. That is so insulting, so actually racist. It's just so ignorant. Upside down world. Oh my god. Ugly bloody scenes in San Jose as protesters attack Trump supporters outside rally. This video shows people running away. Here, we'll just play the video. There are people being chased away. There's a Trump supporter being attacked and surrounded. There's a Trump supporter being thrown down on the ground. And someone defending him. Here's another single Trump supporter surrounded. There's a Trump supporter with his shirt ripped off. Punched in the back of the head. There's a guy with a Mexican flag around his neck attacking a person with an American flag. There's a picture of some bloodied Trump supporters. And here's a skinny little kid in a red flag shirt being chased down the street by, looks like 15 people. Here's a woman in a USA jersey with an egg smashed over her head as she walked out of a building. Here's a guy with the Trump's hat, having his hat knocked off and stolen and set on fire. Numerous Trump supporting hats were set on fire and stolen from people. Destruction of property. You see how these people are just like mindless children, mindless, like mentally handicapped idiots who are just like, I'm gonna attack you, Lord, give me that hat, yeah, and they're literally gonna end up in hell or in some kind of insane asylum, like losing their fucking minds somewhere. I can't understand where these people are coming from or what's gonna happen with their brains if they're just like melting from the inside out. I just can't understand it. So here's Let's jump forward here. Black-clad Antifa members attack peaceful right-wing demonstrators in Berkeley. Here's a list of attacks against conservatives is mind-blowing. June 2016, July 2016, August 2016, September 2016, October 2016, November 2016. Oh, there's a big ol' list of attacks on conservatives in November, right after Trump was elected. December 2016, January 2017, February 2017, March 2017, April 2017, May 2017, June 2017, and the list goes on for every month. We've got attacks on conservative. Go ahead and check that article out so you can see all the attacks for yourself, just so you can know I'm not lying about it, because we don't lie here on Radio Bravery Live, youtube.com/Radio Bravery. We just tell the very real truth and very real news. This is the dailycaller.com. The list of attacks against conservatives is mind-blowing. Go and read all those attacks for yourself. Here's one from Fox News Politics. Trump administration ends DACA with 6 months delay. So here is an article about how DACA was ended. Trump administration ends DACA with 6-month delay. So now there have been major protests against Trump doing this. Here is from the Wikipedia of DACA and DACA recipient. This is from the survey on the Wikipedia here. DACA recipients or dreamers surveyed this month reported earning higher wages and pursuing more education as a direct result of the program. There of 3,063 respondents in 46 states, the median age is 25. More than half of those surveyed were aged 22 to 28. So more than 50% of the dreamers, of the people, the recipients of DACA, more than 50% are aged 22 to 28. More than 50%. So these are not children. These are not 6-year-old kids like CNN would like you to think. If you Google DACA and you get the articles from CNN and Washington Compost talking about how, oh, the average is 6-year-old kid. No, it is 22 to age 28. That is over 50%, age 22 to 28. And the median age is 25 years old. 25 years old. That is not a child. That is not a kid. That is not someone who cannot support themselves. That is a grown-ass adult, and we do not need to be giving them handouts from our tax-paying dollars that we work hard for. That is our money as American citizens we earned, and I'm not giving my money to DACA to 25-year-old adults who can't think for themselves or take care of their dumbass selves. If these people are immigrating here and they can't take care of themselves, then they should go back, because we need people who bring something to this country, who bring technology, who bring intelligence, who bring a brain, who bring a physically working well body, and you know, or people who can't do those things for themselves, like elderly people and children who actually need help, not 25-fucking-year-old adults who can fend for themselves. We don't need to be taking care of those people. Who is protected by DACA? Here's a by-the-numbers look. This is the OC Register, the Orange County Register, and this is in California, where most of the DACA recipients are, and most of the dreamers are, is in California, and that is where this is, age 22 to 28. The median age is 25. So go ahead and check that out, ocregister.com, so you can do your own research for yourself. So this is the special report, why our president trumps the rest, why 45 is the best, and why I support Donald Trump. And I am sick of hiding in the shadows. Conservatives have had too long to stay quiet and to worry about what other people are going to think. If you support someone who's trying to make our country great again, who's trying to make our country free again, and who's trying to help the middle class gain stability, These are the facts that I've showed you in this report. You can go and do your own research, please. That's what I would love you to do. I do not need you to believe me. Don't believe me. Trust yourself, trust your gut, and do your own research. YouTube.com/Radio Bravery. I'm Justin Belshaw, your host, Radio Bravery Live. Thank you so much for joining me as I support our 45th president, Donald Trump. Now, I have Tucker Carlson, one of my favorite reporters, bringing us out, talking about DACA and MAGA, America First, and Tucker Carlson's reaction to DACA and just the real truth, very real news. Tucker Carlson, this is Radio Bravery Live.
Carlson tonight, the administration today announced it will suspend DACA. That's President Obama's program that grants special work permits and amnesty from deportation to illegal immigrants who arrived in this country as minors. You might think the move would set off a national debate about immigration, the pros, the cons, how much of it we're going to need going forward, but no. Instead, the educated classes became completely hysterical, lecturing the rest of us about the racism of the middle of the country. Watch this.
We can think about the policy issues, but there's this kind of cultural undertone that this is really red meat to his base, that it's really speaking to a kind of deep-seated cultural anxiety about the changing nature of the country.
There are people who feel threatened by immigrants, and they're using this concept of unconstitutional as a shield.
He might do away with DACA, which is another moral line that he would be crossing, which is something that would be enforcing, advancing a white supremacy agenda, and also against what majority of Americans want.
Well, this isn't just demagoguery, though it is that. It's also nonsense. Whatever you think of the effects of DACA, no administration could continue it because it's illegal. U.S. immigration laws are pretty straightforward. If you're in the country illegally, you're supposed to leave. If you think that's mean or counterproductive or unfair, take it up with your legislators. Only Congress can change the law. The president is bound to faithfully enforce the laws of the United States.
That's another note. Donald Trump has been very, very good, way better than Barack Obama's 8 years of going past Congress and bypassing Congress, as he fucking said, literally said he would bypass Congress. Donald Trump does not oversee, or does not go bypass Congress. He waits and allows Congress to do their job and puts pressure on them to do it because he's not taking any over judicial or extra executive powers to supersede Congress.
He or any president can simply invalidate those he doesn't like. Former Cabinet Secretary Gutierrez doesn't think this is a meaningful distinction, but if you want to live in a constitutional democracy where laws are more powerful than men, nothing is more important than that. But to our leaders, there is indeed something more important than that. Political power. They've concluded that mass immigration means new and reliable voters, and that means more power for them. If they need to subvert the rule of law to get that power, they will, and they have. In states across the country, politicians now actively boast about ignoring the law. They unilaterally declare federal statutes invalid in their cities. They bar ICE agents from buildings. They give driver's licenses and in-state college tuition to people who are here illegally. They refuse to prosecute immigrants for crimes that have nothing to do with immigration, in effect giving preference to illegals over their own citizens. Congress is a little better. They look away as the laws they pass are mocked and flouted. In 2012, Barack Obama decided to take this reasoning to its rational endpoint. He just openly ignored the law by creating DACA. That move was sold as a way to protect people who don't remember living in any country except this one. But like almost everything you hear from Washington, that was mostly propaganda. People who came here illegally at 15 were just as eligible for amnesty under DACA as those who'd arrived as infants. DACA beneficiaries were not supposed to receive benefits. Remember that? That turned out to be a lie, too. In New York, for instance, DACA recipients qualify for both Medicaid and cash assistance. But this isn't simply about DACA. The program was indefensible, but it's just one manifestation of a bigger and much more ominous trend. The globalist elite has given up on concepts that have defined civilized states for more than 2 millennia. Borders, citizenship, and the rule of written law itself, all abandoned in favor of a worldwide rule by unaccountable technocrats. Just today, former Washington Post reporter and proud illegal alien Jose Antonio Vargas posted a picture of his fake Social Security card on Twitter. His fellow clever people applauded. They're not pretending anymore. Watch this.
No border!
We need to make it clear that immigrants and immigration are here to stay.
You're about to graduate into a complex and borderless world.
Secretary Clinton said this, take a look, quote, "My dream is a hemispheric common market with open borders sometime in the future." Is that her dream? Is that what she wants? Open borders, an open market?
Yeah, Jake, I'm glad you asked it that way, because I don't think we can dignify documents dumped by WikiLeaks.
Right, that's fair. Is this document then, is it accurate? Did she tell Brazilian bankers that
I have no way of knowing that. I have no way of knowing.
Well, you could ask her.
Yeah, you could ask her, Tim Kaine. Why don't you do that? Let us all know if Hillary Clinton wants a borderless world. So that's Tucker Carlson's take on DACA, and this is your special report from Radio Bravery Live on why I support President Trump and why our president trumps the rest. Thank you so much for joining me on Radio Bravery Live. We've got Joy Villa once again bringing us out, as she's maybe a new InfoWars Live correspondent. She's been on the Alex Jones Show a lot recently, and she's been standing up for our country and for freedom, as I brought us in with Make America Great Again, her newest song, which was censored on YouTube. This is one of my favorites by her. I Make the Static, Joy Villa. YouTube.com/Radio Bravery. This is Radio Bravery Live. I'm Justin Belshaw. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe today. YouTube.com/Radio Bravery.
This love is harder than to song. Your lips